we got offered a job interview, which is the first time that's happened at any club during this save.
Don't wait for me, 'cause I keep breathing fire. I won't wait for you, 'cause you keep telling lies. I keep going high, she keeps going low. At the end of the day, she's gone. But you don't wait for me, 'cause I keep breathing fire. And you keep telling lies.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Outcasts 2 Icons with me, a man standing in front of some men waiting for a youth intake. As always, if you've been enjoying the series up to this point, smash the like button for the algorithm, up the algorithm ultras, all that Jesus lovely stuff. Here is Regan Booty. Oh, what a man. Now, Booty has had a bit of an interesting season in the sense that when he came in, I honestly bought him mostly for the memes, and I don't know if we're going to be able to do this any more times. However, since he's come into the team after Christmas and has played, I think, the last 4 or 5 games from the start, he's already contributed 2 goals and 2 assists in that period and has just started rolling back the years to classic prime Booty. And I'll be honest with you, I really just cannot figure out why now. Don't get me wrong, he's got some okay attributes across the board, but it's nothing special in the main thing, so I just really don't know how he's able to be so good. And one thing I've noticed a lot, as someone pointed out a few seasons ago, in fact, those back post headers where he makes those little runs and is able to get to the back post and win those headers. I've never seen any other player in our team. Jurisic did it one time, but Booty just seems to make those runs so frequently, and I don't know why he does. It's really baffling to me. If you've got any ideas as to why Regan Booty is so good, other than the obvious that he's an ethereal beast sent from heaven to help out football teams, then let me know. Also, at the end of the last video, I mistakenly said that we had got 6 clean sheets on the bounce, and I was very proud of that, somehow ignoring the 2-1 that we had against Bekkesjava. Now, I think the reason I did that is because we had 2 games against them in a row, and I thought it was the cup game that we conceded in. Of course, it was the cup game we conceded in, but it was also the league game. So still, we've still got a nice little defensive record, and it's still only 1 goal conceded in our last 6 games. So that ain't bad either, and I'll take that. So, today, away to Debrecen. For some reason, I thought we were at home today, but we are away. 6 points clear of them in the league. A defeat would bring them back into the title race, but would still give us a nice gap to the teams below. A win, and oh boy, we could start making some plans potentially for next season. Ooh. Speaking of next season, I'm actually going to let you guys decide what happens if we were to go up. In the sense that if we're promoted, I'm going to put a poll out, and you guys can decide whether we stay for another season in the top flight, just the one, because obviously we don't want to dwell too long, or we use our newfound coaching badge prowess to move on to another team, which will have our National B license by then. So I'll let you guys decide at the end of the season what you want to do, because I think that'd be quite a little fun thing. I can't always do that because of how the videos line up, but this is the perfect time where I actually can do that, so I'm going to make the most of it. So hopefully, Bosic is going to be back fit to play today. George Dunn did a decent job last time around. I agree. Wait, hang on. Oh, now we have a bit of a problem, don't we? Right, so I'll tell you what I'm actually going to do. I'm going to drop out Mikhailov for today because he's been a bit of a naughty boy. And we'll get George Nunn back onto the bench instead of him. So we had a few bids from other random Hungarian clubs. One of £600,000 for Mikhailov, which is lovely money, but obviously we'd quite like to keep him. And then he wasn't interested in joining, and I didn't really want to sell him. Then, once our transfer window had shut, we got a bid from FC Ural over in Russia. Bit more of a difficult club to turn down, so to speak, and he was unsettled essentially. So he came to talk to me, and I said, basically, mate, you know what? They've only offered us £160,000. We've just turned down offers of £600k, and you have a release clause of nearly £800,000. Now, that's why we put that in there. That's why presumably you wanted that release clause, mate. So, you know, if FC Ural trigger your release clause, you're welcome to leave. And he's like, no, you have to sell me for like 1/8 of my release clause. To which I said, get out of my office. A jet ski will be at your house 20 minutes. Expect me. Part of me is tempted to put the poll on this video, but I'm also tempted. We'll see what happens at the end. If we're looking real strong, then I might change my mind, but I don't want to jinx it by start saying, well, this is what could happen if we get promoted. And it's like, well, you know, the league might have other ideas on that one. See how we do away at high-flying Debrecen, who, of course, have amazing amounts of goals in their team, as we found out when we played them earlier this season in the 3-3 draw. So, really, anything but a defeat is good for me. And even a defeat isn't the end of the world, but it would be nice for us to really show a bit of strength here. See how we do. Jurisic has already got a twisted knee. Good. I think our plan is just going to be to try and keep them quiet, but they do have some outrageous attacking talent this season. Great ball in, and it's well cleared, but it falls back to Goranci. I can see ways through this team. Look how high they are pushed up. They have every single player in our half. I wonder if later in this match, George Nunn and Pass into Space could become the best of buddies. That is terrible. We've got it anyway. Kovacevic. And it even might allow space for the likes of Krzysztof Gretschow anyway, even if we're not trying to play those types of passes, but there could be space in behind for our late runners. or Booty. Round the side, Grexo, Albert Stahl! Lovely work. They're going to leave us gaps here. No wonder they score a lot, but they concede a lot too, clearly. Grexo's picks it up again. We've got a lot of possession. Oh, he's gone. He's got to go. He has. He's gone. Who was that? Mihailovic has gone for Debrecen. They're down to 10. I mean, he had 2 proper goes. I think Regan Booty there. Like, one tackle wasn't a foul, and the second one, he's just gone straight through him. I don't know what he was thinking. I'm taking a risk. I'm trying the pass into space idea because I feel like they might not be playing such a high line anymore, though. That's the thing. We've just sort of been unable to break them down today, and I do wonder if just a ball over the top occasionally might not go amiss. Grexo, round the side for Kovacevic. This is exactly what I was talking about. Those types of plays is what we need a bit more of, and I think we'll have to leave Kovacevic on because we need to have an under-20 Hungarian player on the pitch, so not spectacular, but we'll see. Bosic, but we've got really no options there because of Nandori's injury. Okay, this is going to be our final hurrah for the game, I suppose. See if we can come up with something. Booty's ball in. Cleared it away. Uh-oh. Oh, no, we should win this back. Kovacevic sitting deep, back to Booty. Men in the box, go short for Otto. Back for the Booty man again. He's through, and he's... Whoa, tell you what, that was a dangerous tackle on Regan Booty there. Thank God he won the ball, really, because otherwise that was a stonewall penalty. This highlight is not over yet. Grossu, Kovacevic, we've got space now. They're allowing us to work, but we need to get good balls in. And none! Oh, George! Well, it looks like it is going to be 0-0, which, you know, grand scheme of thing, I'll probably take that. I said I didn't want to lose, and it looks like we're not going to. Maybe there's a missed opportunity to grab the win there, but we just couldn't seem to get anything going. We just, I don't know, very, very even game, and I think we'd have been pretty fortunate to win this match had that gone in there. The idea didn't work, getting it on the bench. What it was, we saw, this is why I feel like you can't really make too many tactical decisions a lot of the time, even on extended highlights, because we saw a few little counter-attacking opportunities against Debrecen in the first half that made me think that they could be got at in behind. However, we had so much of the ball in this game that those chances were coming very, very rarely, and we rarely saw them. So that's essentially it. That's why I find comprehensive when building tactics is so much better for looking for patterns of play to actually see how you genuinely are creating chances for the most part, rather than just like one-off situations. And I got lulled into that in that game. But still, 0-0, we'll take that. So, yeah, the gap is now down to 9 points as Guillemot won 3-0. But we would have expected that to be the case. Still, though, 9 points clear is pretty damn good. And we've got through a really tough spell of fixtures with some top results. So, happy with that. Let's go. I'm going to try and find a fixture to come back for that's, like, hopefully against a side that's relatively high up. It might be Tiskaketsia. I'm sorry, I'm struggling with the name still. Back in a sec. Right then, we're back. We have an insane amount of stuff to discuss outside of even the games we've played. But firstly, we were at home against Yuri. Osvar getting the ball down the right-hand side, whips it through, and, well, you know this. You know the rest of the story. Bosic, I think that's 19 for the year now for the lad. But we annoyingly gave away a penalty almost immediately after that to make it 1-1. Frustrating times, but we were playing well on the night, and I felt we could do enough. And this is just some magic here. Otto with the ball through, and watch this. It's almost Van Persie-esque from Kovacevic with the looping header over the goalkeeper to make it 2-1, which was really, really good. And then with just 10 minutes to go, we were able to put the icing on the cake with a lovely passing move. Booty puts the ball through. Bosic, instead of shooting, does the simple thing, whips it across, none's there, 3-1. Really good performance from us, I feel like. I think most of their XG really came from the penalty and a really strong win that we needed to get back going after the 0-0 against Debrecen. Unfortunate to concede, but it happens. Nice to see none scoring too. Okay, so the game's glitching out for some reason. It won't let me show you the goals from the Pexi game for whatever reason. But regardless, we were a bit unfortunate to lose 4-2 in this one. Played pretty damn well on the night, as you can see. And they managed to score 4 times. Some defensive errors in there, particularly for the second goal. Petr Zakin, essentially, ball was kicked out from a corner. Our defender clears it straight into the face of a player on the edge of the box, and it loops straight into the back of our own net. So, I mean, admittedly not an own goal, but still very, very frustrating to lose against Pexi, who were 19th in the form standings at the time. They just scored every shot, every chance they had, really, in this match. Very strong performance from them, and we weren't very good. Next up, though, we went away to Jazberenia, who, well, relatively down towards the bottom of the league in the relegation places. Bosic with a ball through. Albert Stahl with a gorgeous header from the edge of the area to make it 1-0 on 31 minutes. Moments later, we won a penalty. Stahl dispatched that to make it 2. Sort of a load off my mind at this point, as they were, they were sort of started the game fairly strongly, and I was getting a bit concerned. But they did get a goal back in the 75th minute. Ball whipped through. Sabo with a great little header to make it 2-1, and I got slightly concerned at that point. But on the 80th minute, this is one hell of a goal. Nunn gets the ball. Kovacevic gets it inside her, and I think he's going to run through, but instead he just takes it on the edge of the area. 3-1, great goal. And just nice to see him scoring again. When I say they started strongly, they were starting to control the possession in the early stages of this game, and all of a sudden we just sort of won it back from them around about the half an hour mark, and that's when we started blasting through them. I don't know what they changed, but it did not work. Next up, it was away to Vassas, with Tom Allen Tolich in the midfield, annoyingly. 13 minutes into the game, they win a tackle at one end, goes down the other, and Bokor makes it 1-0 to Vassas. Concerns were starting to mount for me, but luckily, in the 55th minute, we started to come back into this match a little bit more in the second half. Jurisic does well to hold on to it here, Bosic with the ball around the side, and Greksho slams us 1-1 here, and a good away point at 5th place Vassas. And as you can see, very, very even game. The draw definitely the fair result on the night. Last up, we met Sakvari. Booty with the ball in the 5th minute, Stahl on the end of it, 1-0, and that was all she wrote. Probably could have had more goals in this one, to be fair. They got a red card in the 68th minute, and it was a bit of a weird one where Booty got the ball on a little pass through on the edge of the area, and he was fouled just on the edge of the area, but there was so many players, and the referee sent him off for denying a clear goal-scoring opportunity, and for me, it wasn't that clear. So we got away with it there, and that sort of enabled us to hang on towards the end as they offered nothing in the second half, and a good win for us, 1-0. Which leaves us currently 5 points above Debrecen. They have gained a few points back on us over this point, but the other teams have just floundered slightly. So dropping points against Vassas, I say gained points, really. It was the Pekshi result that was sort of the worst one. They've sort of gone on a good run now. So losing 4-2 at home to them was a bit of a poor one for us, but we still remain 8 points clear with 6 games to go. So our gap has dropped slightly from the 11 points that it was, but I still think we're in the driving seat as things go. And most importantly, we have the most wins in the league. Also, youth intake, because we've just got more stuff to talk about after this, believe me. There's a youth intake as well. You were seeing it on your screen now. It wasn't spectacular, really. When we joined the club, we seem to have got 2 relatively poor, in fact, maybe even 3 relatively poor youth intakes, sadly. But I guess that's just how it goes. Because there were some good youth players here at the club when we got here, but none have really come through since we joined, and I'll show you the best 2. There's Imre Haiber, who is probably the highest rated of the bunch. They were all Hungarian, no second nationalities or anything, nothing really interesting in there at all. He was probably the best of the bunch. Ball-winning midfielder, okay tackling, teamwork's very good, that's about it, really. And there was also Istvan Gönser, and again, yeah, just not spectacular, sadly. But now, as we go into today's game against 13th place, they've slipped quite a lot since they were looking. I was looking at this going, oh, they're about up here. It's always like I pick a live com for a team and then they just start dropping like a stone. I should have picked Debrecen, really, even though we can't play them again. But yes, completed my National B license. It has happened. That's good to see. Greksho suspended for this game, so George Nunn's going to have to come in because our other striker option, Furco, is also injured for this game too. So we'll have to do a bit of a switcheroo in this particular scenario. Tezgin will come onto the bench, and Shabados as well. That'll do. Oh, no, wait. No, we can't have that, can we? Oh, okay. Interesting. Oh, okay. We may have an issue here. Just going to have to dip into the under-19 squad, I think, here. Going to bring in Daniel Toth. We're always getting little bids for him, even though he's not ready for first team action yet. He's going to be on the bench today just to fill out those requirements. So that's probably what we're going to have to go with for today. Yeah, it's about as best as we can do, really. So see how George Nunn does through the middle, I suppose. So on the screen right now, you should actually be seeing the old one when we had our National C license. And now I'm going to fade it in to the current situation with our National B license. Now, we've gone up basically by 1 in most categories, except discipline, which has gone up, I think, by 6, from like 4 to 10. Now, I don't know if that's because of the license. I guess it has to be. Or it's just because we changed our style. I don't know. But that's a big bump, which I'm really, really pleased with. And might help us as well with the mental side of things, clearly. So that's really good. Also, we're up to 40%. And I also applied for a National A license immediately. And the board said yes, which is just amazing news. So Kimmy's really racking up those badges right now. And we've got a lot to thank Szeged for that. Now, this is the big thing. We got offered a job interview, which is the first time that's happened at any club during this save. The job interview was with Pakshi in the top flight. Now, I have turned it down because I didn't feel like it was the right move for us at the time, but it was just interesting to note that this is the first time we've been offered a job at any club in this save while we were employed. Now, they're currently 11th in the league in the top flight. Good finances, it would seem, which is good for them. I mean, look at their current recent finishes. 3rd, 4th, they've been a strong side, possibly even competing in Europe at times. But yeah, as things stand for them this season, though, they are 2 points from safety, and they would have expected us to try to keep them up, basically. Now, I think that would have been an achievable goal, potentially, but I just felt like it wouldn't really be the best career move for us to go from a team that looked like they're going to get promoted to a team that could potentially get relegated. It just felt like financially it would be the much better decision to stay with Szeged, particularly as they've shown us some loyalty this season. So I had to dip out of this because I forgot I was actually going to show you the managerial profile of Kimmy. So that's the squad we're going to go with. Bit of a mishmash there, I realise, but now we're back to business. I'm excited for this game. I hope we have a good chance at winning it. I think we do. Let's get going. Well, we're only 5th in the form standings, but these guys, not that this should come as a huge surprise, are bottom of the form standings on account of literally when I picked this livecon 4 matches ago, I swear they were like 5th in the league. Maybe it was 7th. I don't know. Point is, they're now 13th and struggling like mad. And hopefully we can pound on the misery to that today. Oh, they've got Mitrovic at centre-back. Watch out, lads. He might chokeslam someone. This is going to be... I still think it'll be a test. I always find that when you come up against these out-of-form teams that are still quite decent, sometimes you just end up... Yeah, they play to their actual talent. Stahl. Can he find the right pass? Booty surely can, though. Oh, what a pass! What an insane pass that was from Regan Booty. He's put up a few assists in some of the off-camera games. I think he also scored one. He might have been against Pekshi, actually. Or Pakshi. Not Pakshi. No, it was Pekshi. Anyway, lovely work on the edge of the area. Booty, watch the run, though. Lovely run from Kovacevic. And again, he has been fantastic since about 7 or 8 games into the season. He's been wonderful since then and a great early start for us. I reckon we come out of this game potentially with a 10-point gap, and we can basically... Wow! It's finally happened! Apostolos Geladaris makes it 2-0 with a header direct from a corner. That's our first, direct-headed goal from a corner this season. In fact, at the club, we did score one where a header was flicked on and put in by Greksho earlier this year, but Geladaris has got an XG of 3.5, and he's not scored at all. That's so good. Or rather, he has, but it wasn't from that situation. I don't know what's happened to these guys over the past 5 or 6 matches, but they have been terrible. And so far today, they've shown every bit of that terribleness. Booty again, run the side for Nunn. And again, Regan Booty is just running the show in the midfield. Nunn probably should do better with that, to be fair. We have just looked not spectacular in recent games. What a goal! Regan Booty, 4th goal of the year now. I think he's got 4 goals and 5 assists since Christmas coming into this team. What a performance. That is an unbelievable free kick. That's goalkeeper's side as well. Oh, what a hit. 3-0 in the first half. These types of performances are what champions are made of right now, and we're really staking a claim to winning the title with a performance like this, particularly with the results elsewhere going our way too, that could see us 10 points clear of the promotion spots and potentially even 8 points clear at the top as things stand. But I don't want to let the foot off the gas just yet. Osvat, can he find that back post cross to Bosic perhaps? Stahl might be able to. Bosic's header, good save. This should be a nice win for Otto. And he's not won it, but oh, hello, Monos through again. And Monty's there again. Well played, Monty, man. Monty, despite that mistake very, very early on in the season, has actually been really, really good this season. Knocked down again, and once again put him behind for Molnar. And, oh, just wide. They found some quality in the later part of this game. And now it's looking like it's going to be a red card as well. Just to finish this game off in style, really. They are going to be down to 10 men, and this is surely done now. And there he goes. Off he goes. He's shown him a me. Bye-bye, sir. Probably a slightly wasted opportunity not to go for more goals at this point, but when the league isn't decided on goal difference anyway, getting the win is the main thing, being 3-0 up, doing our thing, testing something out, and we have won 3-0 thanks to that first half blitz. Second half, we still had a little bit of opportunities, but you can see it was mostly them in that second half there. Regan Booty wasn't actually man of the match in the end, but he still had a great game with a goal and an assist as well. Well done, lads. Wow, he got booked twice in 2 minutes. Well done, lads. So elsewhere, actually, we got further clear. Debrecen did manage to get the victory in the end, a 2-1 victory away at Guillemot, which actually helps us out more than it helps. Well, it helps them too. So now we move 11 points clear with 5 games to go. We're surely now going to get promoted. And with that, I am going to put a poll on this video, a straw poll, in the description for you guys to vote on what we should do at the end of this season. So it's simple. It's either going to be, do we stay for a third season to do the top flight? It would still only be the 1 season, I feel like we'd do, if we went to the top flight. Obviously, we're in a good position to do so. There's no foreign player rules from what I can see in the top flight, so we could really build an interesting team for that top flight season. Or do we take a chance and move on at the end of the year? I'll talk about the poll in the next video as well, since we still have more time to decide. Super duper good. Lovely old job. So, of course, next episode, final episode of the season, it's all about the title race, really. I feel like, we're going to have some suspensions for that game too, so this is going to get very, very interesting indeed. Back against Siafok, they were so good at the start of the season, but they really have fallen off quite a lot. And then, it's not an easy run-in other than these. There's Haladas in there, Zalegashegi as well. There's definitely some tough games to come, and I still don't think we're guaranteed the title, but I do think promotion is very much on the cards. So, if you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope you have, drop a like, that'd be amazing. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, that'd be sick too. I stream on Twitch on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays as well, so go follow there as well. Of course, stream a showdown this weekend too, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the final episode of the season, and what potentially could be our final game as the manager of Second. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Hold your gun. Capybara. Bye-bye.